It had been more than 5 minutes since 47-year-old Sam Allen had suffered a heart attack on a ski lift. From the chair behind him, ski patroller Andy Brown had radioed for help, but they were 11,000 feet up the mountain without the medical equipment needed to save the victim's life.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Lee Kirsch, another ski patroller, arrived on the scene and started with CPR, and I had the lift operator move the chair forward so that I could help Lee.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good air.
Never give me the first back you hook him up and I'll tube him.
His eyes were open, but unresponsive. He's very gray, pale, ashen look. I mean, it's a look of death.
Clear chest, please. Clear it. Fire.
He's only been down for 10 minutes.
Okay, he's flatline. CPR, please. CPR.
He's not showing it on the monitor right now, but he's still a patient that there's a chance. And as long as there's a chance, we're going to work it.
Grab some epi out of the pack, please, Lee.
Dr. Mark Hallett had been monitoring the radio calls from the medical clinic at the base of the mountain.
The call came that they wanted Dr. Armour or myself up there because things didn't look good.
4, 5. 1. Okay, epi's in.
It's amazing how it tears at you because this is a person you've only known 20 minutes, and to have that kind of feelings, knowing that, he might not make it. It's rough.
I think I got there about 20 to 25 minutes after he had first had his arrest. His heart did all kinds of things, from fast rhythms to slow rhythms to no rhythms. Some of those rhythms he had a blood pressure, other rhythms he didn't. Although we couldn't get a good blood pressure in his arm, he had strong pulses in his neck. So I made the decision that we better try and get him down the mountain.
Nice pulses.
Guys, still got a good film roll. We're looking good. Okay, are we ready to move here, guys?
They knew the trip would take more than 10 minutes.
He did have a pulse, and his heart was beating fine, but he still was not breathing on his own. We need to now get to definitive care. But if I make the move and make the commitment to the toboggan, I'm making a commitment to a patient that I can no longer do advanced life support on.
With Sam in one toboggan and another toboggan strapped to it to carry the emergency workers, they began the 2,500-foot descent to the mountain's medical clinic.
I skied down beside the sled. I felt like if he ever did regain consciousness, if there was a familiar voice there, that it might be of some benefit. I don't know if that was correct or not, but I had nowhere else to go.
I need the O.
You're going over bumps and moguls. The snow's coming in your face. You're trying to monitor your patient. Unfortunately, electrically, the monitor picks up that same vibration. So it's hard to see his rhythm and pulses.
Get ready to whip it. All right. Looking good so far. I still got him good.
Okay.
Bag it easy.
Here we go. Work him up. I started seeing him starting to move his arms. And Donnie noticed it also. And Donnie actually said, I'm starting to get occasionally a spontaneous breath. At this stage, he probably regained enough of his subconscious to get his gag reflex back, which is unfortunate for us because we have a tube down his throat.
You're all right.
Even though our patient was never conscious, we're in an arm wrestling battle.
He goes right out over my knee. Okay, I got him. Wait a minute, strap him. Keep him down.
He slowly started slowing down on us.
Pulse, Donnie.
Yeah, he's definitely flat.
Hit it hard, guys.
We lost him. He's flat.
We had lost him. He was back into VTAC, and we didn't have pulses anymore.
I really had resigned myself to the fact that he was dead, that there was not going to be any coming back for him.
I can't find.
I just couldn't believe how much effort and care they were putting into it, because in my uneducated opinion, I just couldn't imagine how they were going to get him back.
From the time that he had his arrest to the time we got to the clinic was about 40 minutes.
3, 4. Everyone clear. And Fire!
You just never know when the person you're trying to save is going to be one of that 10% who make it. So you just have to push as hard as you can until it becomes unreasonable to go on.
Fire! Okay,
What's it? Give it time, give it time.
We getting anything?
I'm seeing something.
We got an air complex. We got
pulses of that?
Got a pulse here.
What was the ETA on flights?
On the way.
They're about 20 minutes now, 25 minutes.
A Flight for Life helicopter arrived to transport Sam to a hospital in Denver. Nurse Lori Aston headed up the medical team on board.
I really thought we would be canceled on the way up. Anybody that arrested on a chairlift and to go through the time span of getting off the chair, down the mountain, to the clinic, it just didn't sound like a very good prognosis.
In the tracks on this side. Okay, watch my tubing. Got your tubes.
More than an hour and a half after Sam Allen suffered a heart attack, the chopper took off for St. Anthony's Medical Center. Dr. John Farrell was on call that day.
My initial role was to try to stabilize his rhythm and blood pressure and give his brain a chance to recover. And then I called Mrs. Allen to let her know what was going on. I told her that he was in critical condition, and I did not know whether he would survive or not, and I also did not know whether his brain function would return to normal or not.
Carolyn Allen flew to Denver, not knowing if her husband would still be living when she arrived.
You're not going to be able to talk to him.
When I first saw him, my first thought was, I'm just so glad that you're alive. I told him I was here. I didn't know whether he could hear or not. I really didn't care. I was just going to let him know that I was there.
Sam underwent surgery to remove a blockage in his right coronary artery. 2 weeks later, he was released from the hospital with no sign of brain damage. By the next ski season, Sam Allen was back on the slopes. This time, his wife Carolyn joined him.
I'll catch up with you.
I think my life has not changed so much that I become paranoid about things that I shouldn't do. I feel really just as healthy as I did before this happened.
He is a fighter. He's the kind of person who knows pretty much what he wants to do and tries to go out and do it. But the real hero is the Ski Patrol, because they did their job. They did it flawlessly, and they did it quickly and successfully.
I wish I could review it.
How the hell are you?
Andy Brown.
That's right.
Kevin, how are you, Kevin?
I am very much amazed that he walked out of the hospital.
I owe a lot of thanks to a lot of people. Good to see you. Looking good.
What saved this guy, in my mind, was the guys that were doing CPR. Before we got there with all the fancy equipment.
A year ago, January the 12th. The date, I know. January 12th.
There's one thing he can remember.
I just want to know if he's mellowed out any since we gave him his lecture.
Everybody had a part in this. And what was such a miracle is that everything was placed in such a timely manner.
I thank God for putting all of this cohesiveness of the Ski Patrol, all the people, they were all there when they needed to be there. The teamwork is incredible, and they're just great people. They're super people.
Next.
No, it's my second.
My real concern was she's bled out a lot more than I thought.
I'll think I'm victim.
And that we were going to lose her.